Okay, okay, everybody. Well, my name is Jeff Sturman, and I'm the owner of Best Cruises and Tours. And first of all, I want to thank you for taking time out of your evening to attend our presentation. Um, so, like as Shannon said, we have our chat feature that you can type in any questions that you have. Hopefully, if we have time at the end of the presentation, we will address these questions. If not, we will address them personally with you, because at the end of the presentation, you will see a whole package of stuff that you are going to get in an email from us within the next 48 hours. It will include all the detailed pricing that we're going to be going over with you, as well as the offers, et cetera, et cetera. So for those of you that don't know us that well, Best Cruises and Tours, we've been in business over 30 years. We have sent over about 125,000 of your neighbors on vacations all over the world. We've evolved to be one of the largest volume independent travel agencies in New Jersey. We are members of the Better Business Bureau. We are rated A+, and we enjoy top producer status with most of the major cruise lines and travel suppliers. So we've been successful because of our dedicated commitment to service. Our number one source of new business is our repeat clients and their referrals. And our most important endorsements come from our thousands of satisfied clients, because we have two rules we live by. Number one, we treat your vacation as if it was our own vacation. And number two, we don't allow any surprises unless they're good ones. So I don't have to tell you that the past couple of years has been a pretty crazy ride for all of us, especially in the travel business. Travel actually ceased for at least 2 years. Well, I want everybody to know it's back. All of us are looking forward to traveling. Travel is an entitlement we have earned. We worked all our lives to be able to travel, see new things, enjoy new experiences. So here's what's actually going on with our company, Best Cruises, as we speak. So many of you know we are experts in travel to Alaska this year. We've just about sold out on our custom tour dates. That's close to 300 guests. We have a group going to Paris on a Viking river cruise in May, hosted by our sales manager, Denise. We have a group going on the Danube River on a Viking river cruise in September, hosted by Randy Dixon, our COO. And next month, my wife Ruth and I are taking a group on the Mississippi, of course, on Viking. And last year, 2023, was one of our strongest years ever. 2024 looks like it's going to be even better. So now it's time to look at 2025. So when I saw the itinerary of the iconic Iceland, Greenland, and Canada ocean cruise, I got very excited. A couple of reasons. It's departing from New York City, so we only have one-way air to deal with. As you get through the itinerary, you'll see we're coming back from Reykjavik, and the flight from Reykjavik to Newark is 6 hours, about 6 to 6.5 hours. It's the same like you were going to Los Angeles, to the West Coast. The itinerary of this 15-day ocean cruise is unique. It's in an area that's super safe. It's right in Viking's wheelhouse. They know this area extremely well. And we picked a departure in May of 2025 and locked in some inventory at super excellent discount prices, but more about that later. So Shannon, would you go over this itinerary for our guests? Shannon, as if you may or may not know, is our Viking representative. And she covers almost all of the Northeast, and she's just terrific. So she's going to go over this itinerary with you guys. So Shannon, please.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it. And I always appreciate speaking to your clients. I'm sure some of you that are online maybe have already heard some of our previous presentations. Jeff, you also last year went in search of the Northern Lights from
Yes,
London all the way up into the Arctic Circle. So that's
yes,
really cool on Viking Ocean. And I have to say, I really love this itinerary too. It's actually a newer itinerary for us. And what we're finding is that our passengers really want a longer journey. We all have so many bucket list itineraries and destinations that we want to go to. And so to just go to Iceland sometimes doesn't make sense. So we've always had really great Iceland tours. But this one, being able to include Canada, which means then we get to sail out of New York, which is fantastic for us living in this region, and then head over to Greenland and then hit pretty much the entire island of Iceland is
yes, right.
it's really priceless. And honestly, Jeff, you can attest to this. If you haven't been on Viking Ocean, maybe you've been on Viking River, maybe you've done something else. I don't know what you've done and what you haven't done, but you do not want to get off the ship. The way our ships are designed, the way you are treated by our crew as if you're family, you truly you feel a feeling that you're coming home to almost like if it's your own residence. And the ship really just acts as this fantastic floating boutique hotel, taking you from one port to another. And because they're smaller ocean ships, that really lends to a spectacular experience because you're able to go right into the heart of these harbors. So I'm going to take you through the itinerary. Real first, what I always like to do, well, first is thank Jeff and his team over at Best Cruises. They are our top producer in this region. They are the best of the best. I could not do what I do successfully without Jeff and his team. Sometimes I think they're better than I am. And going and working with a travel professional who really knows Viking is important because there's lots of ins and outs, but more so the fact that Jeff is presenting this itinerary, because typically someone would just recommend an Iceland cruise to you, right? But that's what Best Cruises does. They go above and beyond finding even, better itineraries, really making the best use of your time, giving you the best value for your dollar. So they're fantastic. Plus, they have access to me. Jeff has my cell phone number. So if anything ever goes wrong, trust me, he's calling me directly. But anyway, enough about that. I do like to talk a little bit about Viking and who we are. So we are actually celebrating our 26th, almost going on our 27th anniversary. And really, the one takeaway for all of you to know, if there's anyone who's new, we've got a lot of people online with us tonight. And so it's important for me to kind of just give you a little idea of who we are as a travel experience. You have a plethora of travel experiences that you could consider, and Best Cruises will be able to share all of those with you. But for us, we really have reinvented cruising. So if you're a cruiser at heart, you may be at a point where you've evolved to our cruise line. Maybe you've done big ships. Maybe you've done Alaska with Jeff. He really wanted to go on this itinerary, but he is deemed Mr. Alaska in the cruising industry. So he really cannot not show up to Alaska next summer when we're doing this itinerary, which is basically prime time for Alaska. So we forgive you, Jeff, for not hosting this particular itinerary.
I'm
But
dying to go.
honestly, he'll be on a big ship while all of you are sailing on this wonderful small ship. That is what we are as a brand. We've reinvented cruising, whether it's river cruising, ocean cruising on the Mississippi, which is in the lower left-hand corner, or on our expedition ships that go to Antarctica, the Arctic. And if you haven't and are not aware of this, they also go to the Great Lakes. So we will be bringing that to you in the future. A fantastic experience on the Great Lakes with Best Cruises. But in the meantime, everything that you're looking at here on the screen is small ship cruising, and having the ability to go right in the heart of these destinations, walk on and off the ship, be in the harbors or right here at the docks and the ports of river cruising is truly a really unique experience. It really sets big ships apart from little ships. So Jeff, what is the largest ship that just entered the waters?
The Royal Caribbean Icon of the Sea. I think it's 6,000 people.
Yep, yep. It's almost 7,000 people plus 2,000 crews. So guess what, folks? All of you listening here tonight, we are not that. We are small ship cruising. So why I show this screen is because you may be interested in this itinerary, but I do want you to know that Best Cruises, they are very aware of all of these travel experiences. And so if there's anything that you're looking to do, whether that's this year, we have some great last minute opportunities this year. If you're looking to get away from home, we also have uh, itineraries for 25 and 26 were open for sale. We'll probably be open for sale for 27. Why? Because Viking does tend to sell out. So definitely keep your pulse on what we're doing and how we're traveling the world. We're on every continent, including the last continent and Antarctica. So we can bring lots of experiences to you. So without getting too in depth on this, I really love to just explain who we are, how our travel experience looks, how you'll be traveling with us real quick. And then we're going to go right into the itinerary. But a great way to describe it is how Tor, who is our chairman, our founder, who him and his daughter pretty much are the top of Viking. We are not publicly held. We are privately held. They still are very, very much involved into the day-to-day operations of Viking. But the way he describes this is perfect because he says luxury is not having a closet full of designer goods. Experiences are the new luxury. So every time you think of Viking, I want you to think small ships and experiential, a destination focused cruise line. We're going to keep you in port longer. We're going to make sure that when you're traveling on shore with us, you're really getting the most out of that destination. You're getting that true cultural immersion. And that truly is, and Jeff, I know will agree with me, is what sets us apart. The other thing is how we're designed in a Scandinavian design. So while we sit sort of in this luxury space with the cruising world, if you will, we're elegant, not opulent, meaning we don't have a lot of glitz and glitter and glamour and crystal chandeliers and all that. And you'll see that come across when I showcase the ship to you. So experiences, small ships, and lots more that we're not. So we're going to get to that in a minute. So when you're thinking about Viking and who we are as a cruise line, I want you to think that we're not everything to everyone. So there's one group of people that we're certainly not for, and that, my friends, are children. You have to be over the age of 18 to sail on any single one of Viking's itineraries. So just remember, if there's no children, there are what? No kids clubs, no lines, no chaos, no screaming, no water slides, no go-kart tracks, no wave pools, no bowling alleys. I mean, you really truly feel that difference when you're on Viking because this truly is the experience for you traveling these fantastic destinations, really all about you, and who you're traveling with are all like-minded to you. Have a love for history, have a love for art, have a love for travel, for geography. You are what we consider someone who's a little bit more of a traveler who's experienced, if you will. And when you're traveling with us, we are going to give you that true cultural immersion experience. We're very inclusive too, so you're going to learn a little bit more about that as well. So again, with us, you will not find children, and also you will not find casinos. We do not have casinos on any of our ships, primarily because we are sailing 7 continents. And when you're traveling with us, we want you to be really involved in everything we're doing on board, which would be lecture series and learning about the destination and relaxing and enjoying the ship. We don't want you in a casino when you're traveling Iceland or Greenland. We want you out and experiencing that destination. So no kids, no casinos, and very much country club casual on board too. So we also have no formal nights. We have no art auctions. There are no photographers allowed on our ships, meaning professional photographers. So no one's going to try to take your picture. But on a journey like this, which is 15 days, we have laundrettes. So you don't have to pack 2 suitcases of luggage to be sailing with us for 15 days. You can use at no charge our laundrettes and quickly wash your clothes and be on to the next journey with us during the cruise. So I love that feature. That's something that so many folks absolutely love. There's no lines. We don't charge for our alternative dining, all that. So you'll learn a little bit more about that. But again, small ships, destination focused, right? So here we are. We're going to start talking about the itinerary itself. We hope you are excited like we are, because Jeff and I both have researched this in depth, and we're both thinking, wow, we want to do this. I'm thinking I need to find a way to do this. I'm right here as well in New Jersey. So I hope you all get excited. The actual sail date for this itinerary, which Jeff had already secured some space on this ship. So what that means is he got it at this really great pricing. So it's increased. We're going to talk about that significantly, the pricing. So if you choose to go on this itinerary while Best Cruises has this space, May 18th is the date of 2025. So this gives you plenty of time to plan for this. It's a 15-day journey going, as Jeff said, from New York and ending in Reykjavik, Iceland. Okay. 4 countries, 9 guided tours, packing and unpacking ones. And to top it all off, Jeff and the team are going to put together a really neat post-excursion experience. So there's going to be more on that for you too. But keep an eye out on what we're about to talk about. Listen to what we're about to experience together right now on this journey that we're taking virtually, and hopefully get excited for us and to join us. What's really neat about this is that you have the opportunity to go, as I mentioned, to Canada, Iceland, and Greenland. So not many people are thinking, oh, I'm going to go to Iceland and Greenland. But the reality is this is so perfectly curated, because Iceland and Greenland are really close to one another. And so oftentimes travelers will try to combine both of those destinations. You may have heard of it, fire and ice, right? We always think of Iceland, we think, oh, it's ice. But really the reality is Greenland's the ice, and Iceland's the fire, right? The volcanic, right? It's known for its volcanoes. But anyhow, what you're getting out of this, though, by joining both of them, this is all still this Arctic region. So you're getting 2 Arctic nations, and you're getting the culture of both of those nations. So the landscapes are very contrasting, right? You've got beautiful natural attractions in both, but you've got volcanoes, glaciers, hot springs, so many neat fjords, the Arctic wilderness. So all of this is going to come together on this journey. Plus the bonus, the icing on top, is going to experience Canada. But you'll have the opportunity through this itinerary to really see a lot of nature's wonders, but then also get this really rich cultural experience and the heritage that's in these Arctic regions. And if you're active and you like to do a little hiking, you could do that, glacier trekking, whale watching, and all that fun stuff too from this region. So this is what the itinerary looks like. You'll see good old New York, the Big Apple. We're going to start in New York. If you choose you want to stay overnight before, maybe you're not as local as we are, that's no problem. Best Cruises can handle and give you those options. Then what's nice about this is right off the bat, folks, you're going to have a sea day. And that is going to give you the opportunity to get acquainted with the vessel, relax. You've had all that hustle and bustle of packing. Now you're going to have a sea day, and the ships are fabulous. You're going to be able to experience the spa. You're going to have great dining options. We have multiple pools. But moreover, what really sets us apart are our historians that are on board. So always when you have these sea days, you'll have the opportunity to take part in the lecture series, which is really going to give you such insight to this Arctic region. And it's really what makes the trip super special, because we are deemed and dubbed the thinking person's cruise. So everything we do is really about bringing you in the know of the culture and the history. Now, after we sail the Atlantic Ocean, our first port of call is going to be Halifax, Nova Scotia. Then we're going to have another sea day sailing the St. Lawrence River. If you haven't done this, to be able to make your way to Greenland and Iceland and experience the St. Lawrence River is fantastic. From there, we go to L'Anse-aux-Meadows of Canada, which is a port of call in Canada. I'm going to go through all of these in depth. Then from there, we have another sea day. So you are going to have the opportunity to relax on this itinerary. That sea day is going to be sailing the Labrador Sea. Then we go from there and we finally land on Greenland, where we'll have 2 ports of calls, Qaqortoq Greenland, and Nunatorlik, Greenland. So those are the two ports of calls in Greenland. So one each day. Then we have another sea day that's going to take you over to Iceland, and we'll have 4 ports of call in Iceland. We'll have Ísafjörður in Iceland is your first one. Akureyri, Iceland. Seyðisfjörður, Iceland. I know, and believe it or not, this is how you pronounce these. Djúpivogur, Iceland, the Westman Islands, and Reykjavik.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
He was impressed, but I'm saying I'm probably really not doing it as well as you think. So I'm going to take you through the day by day, because if it was me, I want to know how I'm getting there. I want to know what that travel experience looks like, but moreover, what are we doing? We're traveling for the ports, for the countries that we're going to. So I hope I share with you some insight to this awesome itinerary. So we're starting in the Big Apple. We're not going to talk about that. Hopefully you're all well acquainted with it. If not, we encourage you to go in the day before. And I always encourage in the Big Apple a hop on, hop off bus tour. It is the absolute best way to see New York City. So that's my one point of New York. They're fantastic. Then we have our sea day, as we spoke. Now, here you're going to be really experiencing the ship. You're going to get acquainted with the ship. And by the way, it's 930 passengers. Honestly, there's not a bad stateroom on the ship. There really isn't. And so here you'll be able to do the spa. You'll be able to also get the lecture series and just enjoy yourself, calm down, relax, feel like you're on vacation. Now we go to Halifax. Now this lies along the edge of the Atlantic Ocean. So visitors by sea, if you're coming into Halifax by sea, the first thing that you're going to be greeted with is the beautiful Sambro Island Lighthouse, which is what we're looking at here in this picture. It's the oldest surviving beacon in North America. So you'll have the opportunity to go right into the harbor side. And it's just beautiful, grand, charming stone buildings. Everything here is built in the 18th and 19th century, cobblestone streets. And the city is just really kind of lovely. There's Fort George, so you've got a lot of history there. And then you also have the fortress that you can visit as well, which is, believe it or not, right there. There's the Halifax town clock. And you'll love it. So if you've not been to Halifax, you're going to enjoy it. How we handle this city, and we take you, because every port of call on Viking, you have an included tour. So there's always an included tour, and then there's optional tours. So if you've been to Halifax, you probably wouldn't want to do the hop on, hop off bus tour. By the way, I've never said that we do a hop on, hop off bus tour before with Viking, but I do have to tell you the reason why we do it here in Halifax. It's the best way to see the city and experience it. Plus, you'll feel like very comfortable in Halifax, very easy to navigate. But if you've already been to Halifax, we have optional shore excursions where we will take you out on a coastal drive to Peggy's Cove. We have the fortress, the Citadel Fortress. We have the tall ship harbor sail. So if you want to go on a sail and experience a tall ship, you can do that. And we also have a culinary experience here too. So you will find whatever strikes your passion point here in Halifax. You're going to absolutely adore this charming port of call. Now, after this, we're going to literally be following the footsteps of the 10th century Vikings, and we're going to set sail through the Gulf of St. Lawrence. So we're going to the St. Lawrence Gulf. And then, by the way, just so you know, I'm not going to go back to the map, but this is kind of neat because this is kind of where North American Great Lakes enter the Atlantic Ocean. So this is also a way that you can experience that whole region. But what's going to be neat about this is, again, on this sea day, as we're making our way to our next port of call in Canada, you'll have, again, lecture series, really kind of teeing you up for Greenland, Iceland, the indigenous people in that region, also for our next port of call, which is the Lance Meadows. And sorry, my French is absolutely terrible. But anyhow, you'll love this. Now, what this is in this area and this port is the first Norse settlement in the Americas. So Leif Erikson, you'll hear me mention him a lot. The voyage from Greenland to this area in the late 10th century, this predated Columbus by 500 years, is where he landed. So this is a UNESCO World Heritage Site as of 1978. And you'll see this ancient village, Ericsson, which really provides fascinating insight into the day-to-day lives of the Vikings. So this is going to be your first experience where you're getting to really kind of feel the Vikings. And this whole journey is going to be about feeling the Vikings. So it's a beautiful area. It's a lot of those wood frame homes and stuff. And it's just really quite neat. There's also ancient Native American camps believed to be in this region, so you'll experience that. The actual tour that's included here is called the Viking Experience. So again, great insight to the Vikings. We do also have some optional tours here, but you're definitely going to want to do the Viking Experience because this is our homeland. We are a Norwegian cruise line, and we pride ourselves, obviously, with the name of our cruise line, Viking, on this region. So now we're going to be actually following the footsteps again of the intrepid Viking Leif Erikson, who famously crossed the stretch of water from the Arctic to Greenland, Iceland, over to North America. So now you're going to actually be sailing over to Greenland. Again, another sea day for you to really enjoy the spa, relax, and next up, you're going to be landing in Greenland and you're really going to be experiencing this region. Our first port of call in Greenland is Qaqortoq, and it is a repository of Viking, the Inuit people, the indigenous people of this region, and Danish history. So here in Greenland, which is honestly this one region on this port of call is a beautiful preserved Viking settlement. It's what they deem as the best preserved Viking settlement, and it lies 12 miles outside of this area. And this was all established, this settlement, by Eric the Red's uncle in the 10th century. So that predates Leif Erikson, right? And you'll see how the Inuit people soon followed. You'll learn all about the indigenous people, all the early artifacts. There's great Danish history here too. And you'll see this all reflected in the buildings. There's an 1804 blacksmith shop. So our included excursion here is a walking tour of this region, but we do have optional tours, which is an intimate glimpse of the life in Greenland. So if you want to get that closer look, and then also a fur house. So I'm sure you're aware of like fur trading. That was really big, obviously, trading posts in this region. So that's going to all start really coming to life for you. But a terrific start to this journey. Our next port is Nanortalik, which is nestled on an island near the mouth of a fjord on the southwestern shores of Greenland. So you can see this looks a lot different from the previous port of call. This also was established in 1770 through a small group of Vikings led by Eric the Red, again 10th century, and they called it Grönland, right? So this is the first experience. But here, because this is an ice island port, you're going to find delicious seafood. They're known for the Inuit traditions of fishing for crab, hunting for hooded seals, and then also there's a lot of culture here. So they're known for also welcoming visitors to their island with coffee and Greenlandic cake. Our included shore excursion is going to be of the port, the harbor port, as well as its museum. So lots of history going to be happening here. Now, if you wanted to do something a little bit more adventurous, we have an optional tour. The optional tours are the ones that are not included. You actually pay for them. So you select them before you go on this journey to really meet what your passion points of travel are. But we do have one where you're searching for icebergs. So that's a pretty neat tour here. Now we're going to have another sea day. We're going to be sailing the Atlantic Ocean, divided in half north to south by the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, longer than the Rockies, the Himalayas, and the Andes combined. It's an underwater mountain range that is known to be the longest on Earth. So as you sail today, you'll have an opportunity to enjoy, again, the food, the cuisine on board, the historians, and also hopefully enjoy the spa. So you'll see some of that. So another fantastic sea day. So I think this is going to make it be our 4th sea day, giving you again some great time to relax as well. Now we're landing in Isafjord. So Isafjordur is a great representation of natural beauty. I mean, if this picture doesn't say it all, I don't know if you've been to Bergen, Norway, or to any other Norway ports, but to me, oh my God, with the beautiful fjords, it's so tranquil. And it's one of the nation's oldest villages. So really special to have an opportunity to go here and experience this. So by the way, if you haven't recognized, we're now moving from Greenland to Iceland. So 4 ports you'll be visiting, almost going completely around the entire island of Iceland. So you'll love this. There's the beautiful fishing village, great food. So try to get a little snack if you can in town. It's really well worth it. There's a fantastic maritime museum. This port was founded in the 9th century. So foreign merchants, though, didn't arrive until the 16th century, and that's where they set up all the trading posts. But today, it's really truly home to one of the largest fisheries in Iceland. And it still has a really nice remote locale feeling. So you're going to get great cultural immersion here. It's so rich in not just fishing, but also the cultural aspect. So hopefully you'll have an opportunity to listen to some of the music and experience that. So the oldest house in Iceland is also here. It was built in 1734, oldest house in all of Iceland. And it also has the largest concentration of old timber frame homes. So I don't know if you've been to Stavanger in Norway, but you'll see there's some resemblance between Bergen and Stavanger here. So a really great region for you to explore. We have the included shore excursion, which is going to be of the village and the Isafjordur. And then also we have optional excursions as well that will take you, if you want to go out by kayak, you can. We have an Iceland seafood trail, so you can follow Icelandic life and go to a turf farm. You can do Isafjordur by ATV. You have another opportunity to go out and experience a waterfall and the sustainable fishing community and whale watching. So if that's something you're really interested in doing, maybe you've traveled to Alaska with Jeff before, this is truly transformational for sure, just like Alaska can be to one. So you have all of that as well here, whale watching as well. So now we're moving on from hopefully seeing some whales and experiencing that port to our next port in Iceland, which is Akureyri, which is Iceland's 2nd largest city, known for true colorful architecture. You can see it here in this picture. It's known as the capital of the North, and it's set at the end of Eyjafjörður, which really has a beautiful climate. The city is just north, 62 miles, believe it, from the Arctic Circle. So if you were chasing the Northern Lights, right, if that was something that you were hoping to see, this could be a little spotty this time of year, but this would be a great part to do it. There's a botanic garden here. There's a beautiful local church with most spectacular stained glass windows. And so your included excursion is going to be a panoramic tour of this port. However, that being said, if you want, pack a bathing suit because you're going to want to use it in the spa and on the ship in the pools. But you have the opportunity also to experience nature baths. So when you think of Iceland, what do we think of? Geothermal baths, right? The Blue Lagoon. So you'll have those opportunities to do that while you're on this journey through these optional tours. So you can go to a nature bath. We have a whale watching safari. We have another waterfall experience, which also includes Icelandic farm life. So going out into the farm, the countryside. We have the Diamond Circle. We have horseback riding here. The Forest Lagoon Geothermal Spa. We have another horse farm and mountain hike. So if you, again, pick one of these perfect optional tours to really get the most out of the destination and see more of it other than just the downtown, the port, go out into the countryside, go to one of those thermal baths. Our third port in Iceland is Seyðisfjörður. This is a mountainous setting. You can see it here on the pictures again. Just a beautiful, quaint town at the end of one of the fjords. So its early days trace back to Viking settlements again. It's a beautiful, tiny town. It's got tons of history. It also has the world's first modern whaling station. And it also, this pioneered the first international communications, which is a cable communication, a telegraph cable communication, linking Iceland to Europe. So really cool history here. Beautiful wood homes, the colorful homes that line the streets. You'll absolutely love it. So we're going to tour this city by foot, so you can see this city by foot. But we also have those optional tours taking you out into the countryside, experiencing more of the heritage. And we'll also have the opportunity to take you out to some more baths. If you really love that, to do some of those mineral baths, you can do that again here. Perfect time of year, best time of year to go into this entire region is May, June, July, just kind of like at Alaska. So you're really kicking it off right at the beginning of the season, which is terrific, by the way, folks, because you're not going to be in the heart of it with all the crowds. So great time of year. Now, the last, not the last, but the second to last port is going to be the DUP Valgor. This is on Iceland's east coast. It's a trading center since the 16th century. It's absolutely, again, surrounded by beautiful mountains. It's got tons of local folklore. And there's tales to this, that this area has the ability to grant wishes during the summer solstice. So that's pretty neat. Maybe you can try to grant yourself a wish here. There's lots of cultural sites here as well. And remember, and I didn't mention this earlier, but everything in this region, whether it's Greenland or Iceland, it really is about embracing slower pace of life, sustainable living, improving the quality of life for humans, improving the quality of life for the residents of these. So you're going to feel that come across everywhere you go on all of these ports, where that's very important to them. And hopefully you'll be able to gain some insight and take some tips home to really see the different way of life, right? Outside the hustle and bustle of New York and New Jersey, this tri-state area. This is going to be fantastic for you. So we have an opportunity to do the nature experience. We could take you out to a fjord. We have East Iceland by foot. We have a nature walk. And what you're looking at here are black beaches. So when people reference Iceland, they typically reference the geothermal baths, but they also reference the black beaches. So this is going to be your opportunity to experience a black beach. We also have an ice lagoon by Zodiac. We have a hike. We have rural Iceland and some more waterfalls that you could take. So excursions that you could take, optional tours. But the included one is going to be, of course, always that cultural tour of the port. Now we're going to be going to the Westman Islands. Now, Heimaey is the only populated island in the Westman Islands. So that's the port that we're going to be visiting. It's got stunning landscapes of that volcanic view. So that's what you're going to be seeing here. It's super picturesque, beautiful homes, again, all colorful rooftops, beautiful natural sights that you're going to be seeing here. And it has about millions of puffins too. So if you're there during the puffins, you'll get to experience puffins. A lot of other migration species come to migrate here, so you'll get to experience that. So we'll do this tour on foot, and then we also have a hike that you could take advantage of, and more wildlife by boat. And then we also have a rib that we'll take out, and if you want to do that as well, you can do that. You can also go up by ATV into the volcanic landscape, which is really neat. So a great port, and there you go. There's some of your wildlife horses and puffins. So hopefully you'll have the opportunity to see some great wildlife on this journey, not just here, but across the entire experience. Now, the last port of call, day 15, we land in Reykjavik. Now, you're not going to have time to really experience Reykjavik, which is the world's most northmost capital city. It is so neat. And as you can see, it really depicts like that harbor fishing village kind of vibe. It's the Kentucky-sized islands, westernmost nation, and it's a really neat place. So the biggest attraction here is the church, the iconic Lutheran church that we're looking at. So many people come to this church to admire its architecture, but also to go in, pray, light a candle. And then outside of this church and this area is also the Leif Erikson statue, which is really quite neat. But there's so many other things that you're going to want to do in Reykjavik. So that's why we're going to hope that you stay here a little bit longer and enjoy all the top things to do here. Look at the view of Reykjavik. I mean, it is just stunning. You'll have the opportunity to walk the streets of Reykjavik. Of course, there's great cafes, shops, restaurants, and all that. But it's also known for its music. So there's a concert hall here. And a really neat architecture. So you'll love that. There's also many different museums, the Reykjavik Art Museum, the National Museum of Iceland here, but really just strolling around the charming harbor is going to be fantastic. And while you're strolling around, you will indulge in some Icelandic street food. It is the best street food anywhere in the world. You'll have hot dogs, Icelandic fish stew, fried pastries, amazing. So this is why you want to spend some extra time here in Iceland. But moreover, if you think of Iceland and what you're going to want to see while you're in Reykjavik, it would be what? The Blue Lagoon. So you're going to want to go to the Blue Lagoon, and you're also going to want to go on the Golden Circle, and that could take about, a full day tour. So this is why you're definitely going to want to enjoy some extra time here in Iceland, and Jeff and the team are going to share all about that with you. And that will all come later on when you're working through the beautiful itinerary and hopefully signing yourself up to join us on this experience. The ocean ship's 930 passengers, 465 staterooms, absolutely the perfect size ship. It still feels like a ship, but yet it's intimate. It feels like you're coming home to your own residence, and you'll see that come across. Included, as I had mentioned, in your cruise fare, what we're presenting at the end of this presentation, one shore excursion for every port of call, all of your meals, wine and beer and soft drinks at lunch and dinner, multiple dining venues that you do not have to pay for. There's no upcharge for them. Coffee and teas, cappuccinos, oh my gosh, around the clock. Bottled water when you go out into port, craft water while you're in your stateroom, always replenish, free Wi-Fi, and also all the government charges and port taxes are included. So really, everything really is included in this fare that Jeff's going to present. Also, often what comes up is, well, am I going to be able to go out and tour and do all these shore excursions? And how we do it too is with a local tour guide. So you're not just going out into port on your own. These are 2, 3, 4-hour tours with a local tour guide taking you, who's going to tell you and share with you all about his life or her life in this region, and that history and the culture is going to be firsthand. And that is so special. But we do allow and offer these experiences at different activity levels. So that's the beauty of Viking. You have easy, moderate, demanding. So you'll know exactly what you're getting into before you even enter your journey on this ship. There's sightseeing tours, culinary, wildlife, all those ones that I was talking to you about earlier. These are all tours that you can choose to opt into in addition to the included one, but the included ones are so special. The ship itself feels like you're coming home to your own residence. Look at it. It's absolutely stunning. Scandinavian designs, floor to ceiling windows everywhere. The ship itself is an art museum. So you download an app and you can go around and type in a number that's next to all of the artwork throughout the ship and learn about it. It's all authentic art. Each ship looks the same. So if you've been on these ships before, the art will be different, but the ships themselves all look the same. So you'll be very familiar with the ship. There's nothing different or unique to any of our vessels. So the Neptune in this case will look just like any of the others you were on. Little intimate seating areas where you feel like you're, again, coming home to your own living room. Remember, you're traveling with all like-minded people, just to yourself, love for history, cultural immersion, traveling the world, exploring, right? To learn and experience these destinations. And this is who you're going to be conversing with. And you'll meet some of your best newfound friends here. People say that their best thing about Viking is the dinner conversation because they just absolutely love the people they meet. The Explorers Lounge is one of our public spaces. Look at the 2 decks, all windows, glass staircase so that nothing's obstructed. And in this region, could you imagine being on a ship that's this design with windows everywhere? So every twist and turn of the head, you're feeling that destination. I mean, this is what it's going to look like for you folks. Just absolutely stunning in all parts of the ship. The Winter Garden is one of my favorites and a fan favorite. We do high tea here, small bites, different teas, over 300 different types of teas. And this leads right out to the retractable roof swimming pool, which is perfect for you guys because you're going to be going in May. So if the weather's just not there yet, you can always swim in the heated retractable roof swimming pool. We do movies under the stars up here. We have our Viking band. We love the Beatles. So we do a Beatles rendition up here. We have our pool grill. We have our Aquavit terrace with alfresco dining that leads right out to this beautiful infinity plunge pool. We have our spa, which is a Nordic spa. So if you want, you can dump a bucket of water on your head. The whole idea of opening and closing the pores through the different temperatures. You can go into the snow grotto if you want. I mean, after all, you are going to Greenland and Iceland, so you may like the snow grotto here on board. And again, this series of lectures that you're going to be witnessing and the information that you're going to be learning about, these resident historians join us during these journeys, and they stay on board with you, and you are going to fall in love with their talks and really getting to know the region. We also do destination performances. We locally source all of our food, so you're going to get local wines. We always include a signature dish of cuisine on the menu, so you could experience that region's cuisine. We are #1 with food and wine because of how we curate our culinary experience on board, but even more so on shore for some of our food experiences. We do lots of food tours. We have great movies that we put together for you, multiple dining venues, fantastic room service that actually the pasta bolognese comes right from the Italian restaurant. And there's jalapeno French fries and delicious types of room service. So I encourage you to, yes, order some room service. It's all included. Plus our Italian restaurant, the chef's table, which is wine and small plate pairing, Aquavit Terrace, World Cafe, pool grill. I mean, just absolutely fantastic. We have all veranda staterooms. We have no inside staterooms on any Viking ship. Here on board our ocean ships, you will automatically get a veranda. Everything done in the Scandinavian design. We really love recommending the deluxe veranda. But if you want to upgrade to something a little bit larger, 405 square foot room, you'll get priority boarding, all these additional amenities that will happen here in the penthouse junior suite. You could see how lovely it is with the seating area, the larger balcony, and a little private area where you can section off the seating area from the bedroom area. Beautiful, beautiful bathrooms here in the penthouse junior suite. As you can see, your double sinks. I mean, it is absolutely beautiful. I love the Scandinavian design because it's so bright. And I don't necessarily like dark appointments, especially on a ship. This is the penthouse veranda. So still an additional seating area. We have our lovely makeup table that I love personally. Still 338 square feet. And then this is the deluxe veranda, folks, 270 square feet, a beautiful veranda, still 2 p.m. stateroom access. You get some priority shore excursion reservations and stuff as well in this category. So I think the DVs and the penthouses are super popular on Ocean. So Jeff, I'm sure they're sick of hearing my voice. I'm going to let you take it over.
Okay,
About
okay.
10 more minutes.
Yeah.
Take it away.
Well, so Shannon, I just wanted to interject. I personally have been on a Viking Ocean multiple times, and as far as I'm concerned, it's probably, in my opinion, the best cruising experience on the planet. I really enjoyed it so much. We just, as you mentioned, we did that trip up the coast of Norway in search of the Northern Lights, and one of the highlights was the onboard experience with the lecturers. So we had a lecturer who was a photography expert who was helping us how to photograph the Northern Lights. And then we had a lecturer who was a historian. And there was another lecturer who went through the entire Viking world. It was multiple. They didn't just do one lecture. They were there, and not only that, they were accessible. So it was just terrific. Anyway, so this is the trip that what we did. We actually reached out quite a while ago and grabbed what we call group space on this specific itinerary. If you would go to the next slide, Shannon.
Yes. Yep. So May 18th to June 1st.
May 18th. Yeah. So the itinerary Shannon just went over, and the pricing, we're not going to be redundant. The pricing, if you look at, is on the right, and it's the V1 is the veranda, regular veranda, and it escalates up to that penthouse junior suite. And this is the per person pricing. If you would go to the next slide. So what we have here is we have dramatically reduced pricing. When we took this inventory, we took it at a specific price that was guaranteed. And Viking has what all the actually other cruise lines, it's called dynamic pricing. And what they do is they escalate the price as the demand increases, they escalate the price. So we own this inventory at some just terrific pricing. So as an example, the DB4, which is a deluxe veranda, that's right in the middle of the ship. It's a midship stateroom. If you were to go to Viking website and say, I want to get on this ship and I want to get on this date, the price is $87.99 a person, $87.99. Our pricing is $73.74 per person. We're saving $1,425 a person. Plus, Viking has a Discover More sale, which we're able to take advantage of. So they have a double past guest discount. So if you were a Viking passenger and you went in the past year, $200 a person, and it go up to $400 a person. If you were a new to Viking, Viking has a $200 per person onboard credit. So these Viking Discover More sales are applicable on top of the stuff that we have. Aside from that, we have a shipboard credit of another $100 a person. There's a reduced deposit of only $25 per person. And the air that we had looked at, it's hard to price air at this time. You have to be within 11 months, but Viking is offering air at $649 a person, which is extremely reasonable. So this is the special offers that we have. We have our own stuff combining with Viking's terrific Discover More sale. And this is available and doesn't expire until the end of the month, February 29th. So if you would look at the next.
Sure. Also, I wanted to note too, for the Viking part of this offer, so you have the best cruises pricing. you have the additional shipboard credit. But for us, that Discover More sale, which is the increased past passenger discounts plus the onboard credit for if you're new to us, that's Viking promotion. And it's extended this month. So I was talking to Jeff earlier. I don't think it's going to be brought back in March. So it really is actually not to come off as like, oh, you should really book this now. But honestly, it's a great time to book it because these offers will not be there next month. Pretty sure. And that means that we won't be able to offer them. So really, if you're interested, take a look at that sooner than later to take advantage of the Viking promotions that are on extension from January to this month.
Yes, and those Viking promotions are excellent. Just to reiterate, you have the new to Viking, which is $200 per person shipboard credit, and you have the double Viking past guest discounts, which could be as much as $400 per person discount versus onboard credit. Anyway, here's how you reach us, guys. I don't know how many of us, we have quite a few participants. I don't know how many of you have traveled with us before, but this is how you reach us. Just a reminder that within the next 48 hours, you're going to get to your email everything we discussed today, including if you want to watch Shannon and I again.
Yes, or share it with friends or family.
Right, there'll be a recording, access to record this video. Plus, you will be able to see in hard copy all these discounts and so forth. And I think we're pretty late, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we're almost at. We have about a few more minutes, and I don't see any questions in the chat. Did anybody have a quick question they want to ask in the chat? We can be more than happy to answer that. You just go right to the little chat box, you click on it, and then you can type your message in, and everybody will see your message. But if I know we're all kind of getting tired, right? So
Yes.
I know I am. So anyhow, it doesn't look like any questions are coming through, but honestly, you don't need to ask them in this chat. Just call Best Cruises and Tours and they will answer all the questions. And we hope you really enjoyed this. And just really, I really want to say they are the best Viking travel professionals in the area. So really go to them for all your Viking needs. They have the best offers, the best pricing. They have access to me. They know all the special codes. They know codes that you're not even getting. That you would never hear about because they have that personal access to me, my personal cell phone number. So definitely go to them for any of your Viking needs. Do not call us direct. It makes no sense. Use your travel agency partner. They can help, protect you and curate pre and post extensions for you and all that stuff. So yes, thank you.
Yeah, just real quickly, which we missed, and we are planning to have a post-cruise Reykjavik extension available. I'm sorry we didn't mention that, but there will be one. We are curating that as we speak. So I think it's going to be important as we wind up in Reykjavik to have a couple of days in Reykjavik to explore.
Yes, the Blue Lagoon, the Golden Circle.
Anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming. I want to say good night, and we will look forward to hearing from you.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. We appreciate your time tonight. Have a great evening. Bye, Jeff. Thanks again. We really appreciate you and the team. Bye-bye, everyone.